touch on where she going.
Yeah. All right. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. All right, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to Allah Akim who did us doing the work in sincerity and charity with humiliation all across the four winds. To you I salute. All right. Pretty much today, we're going to be doing a sit down today because, due to inclement weather, So Salakia for that. But nevertheless, man, the work got to go on, So today we have a healthy lesson lineup for the day. Lord willing, we get through this and then, we're going to get out of here. All right. So we're going to bring out the gospel according to the scriptures, because as you know, in these damn hallowed houses, these churches, they believe what they're teaching, is the true gospel. All right. But we're going to give you the gospel according to the scriptures. All right. Thus said the Lord, and as it is written. All right. So the first precept we're gonna hit is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 2. 1 Corinthians. I wanna do it outside.
This is the book of 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 2. That ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandment of us the apostles of the Lord and Savior.
God. All right. So Paul, the apostles, and Yahushai, they was quoting and doing things from the Old Testament.
God.
You understand? And also that is a cut. That about to drop right down. Down the road. Yeah. Salakia. All right, we see that Paul and the apostles and Yahushua, was quoting things from the Old Testament. All right, so these so-called preachers, who say that the Old Testament is done away with, that's a cut, man. Which means the New Testament is a fulfillment of some of the things that was written in the Old Testament. All right, and they just point back to it for reference. Okay? Let's get the book of
Corinthians.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians 1 and 2.
Salakia 15.
15 and 1.
Come.
Salakia for that. 1 Corinthians 15 and 1. Come. It's the book of 1 Corinthians 15 and 1. Moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preached unto you, which also ye have received, and wherein ye stand, by which also ye are saved, if ye keep in memory what I preached unto you, unless ye have and ye have believed in vain.
Khan. All right. It says the gospel this is the gospel according to the scriptures. You see what I say? It says, moreover, brethren, I declare unto you the gospel which I preach unto you. All right, and the gospel that Paul preached, we're gonna go into the Old Testament, and you're gonna see Paul is saying the same thing that Yahushua is saying. All right, so this is the gospel according to the scriptures. All right, so and what did the scriptures have? All right, what scriptures did Paul and the apostles and Yahushua had at the time? The Old Testament. See what I'm saying? So Paul is quoting the Old Testament, and what did the Old Testament say about the gospel? All right. So before we get into that, let's hit the book of Romans chapter 10 and verse 15, and then we're gonna go into the Old Testament to show you what the Old Testament had to say concerning the gospel. Which gospel, when you look it up, is I think is Bashar. All right, good news. All right. Right, the good news. All right.
Good tidings.
Good tidings. Come.
This is the book of Romans chapter 10 and 15. And how should ye preach except they be sent? As it is written, How beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things.
Can you see that and bring glad? Read that again, Bible Bashar.
Romans 10 and 15. And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things.
Can. All right. It says, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. When you look up glad tidings, you know, that's G2097, which is Bashar, you know, to bring good tidings.
Can.
All right. Same thing as the gospel. That's what it means.
Can.
All right. Now, Paul said, you know, Paul is going as it is written, and thus said the Lord.
Can.
All right, which you're going to see. All right. So as we move, give me Acts chapter 28, verse 23. Then you give me Matthew 11 and 4. All right.
This is the book of Acts chapter 28 verse 23. And when they had appointed him a date, there came many to him into his lodging, to whom he expounded and testified the kingdom of the Most High, persuading them concerning Yahushua, both of the law of Moses and out of the prophets, from morning till evening.
Can. All right. So in order for us to understand the gospel, we must go back to the Old Testament, where it was first written.
Can.
You see that? So
Can.
you can't say the Old Testament is done away with and
Can.
jump straight into the New.
Can.
Because other than that, you wouldn't understand nothing.
And that don't make no sense neither.
Can.
Because you gotta start from the old
Can.
to understand the new.
Can. All right. So the word gospel simply means good tidings.
Can.
All right. And what's the Hebrew word for gospel? It is Bashar.
Can.
See what I'm saying? Which means to bring good tidings.
Can.
All right. And most most of all, bring good tidings to preach salvation.
Can.
All right, because that's what the gospel is. All right, to set the liberty, Salaki, to set the captives at liberty.
Can.
All right, and Yahushua was saying the same thing.
Can.
See what I said?
Can.
To announce salvation as good news.
Can.
All right, that's Bashar. That's what the word gospel means. All right, so remember now it says, as it is written. So now let's get Yahushua quoting this, you know, to make sure we understand what Paul is saying. All right, so now from there, let's get, you know, Matthew chapter 11 and verse 4. Come.
This is the book of Matthew 11 and 4. Yahushua answered and said unto them, Go and show John again those things which ye do hear and see.
Read.
The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk. The leper are cleansed, and the deaf hear. The dead are risen up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them.
All right, the gospel, which means good news.
God.
All right, which is the good tidings. Now, Yahushua is revealing something that is written in the Old Testament. Because remember now, to understand this, we have to go back to the beginning where it was written.
God.
This is why he was quoting the Old Testament.
God.
Okay? All right. So that's why he said, look here, I came not to destroy, but to fulfill. Okay? So he's revealing something, all right, that's written in the Old Testament concerning the gospel.
God.
See that? So now, all right, now, as you can see, this is written in red. This is Yahushua speaking.
God.
Okay, because we ain't gonna go off and tell you something out of the imagination of our heart. No, we go in precept upon precept, and as it is written, and thus said the Lord.
Can.
Okay, so Yahushua just revealed something here in the book of Matthew, and he's quoting something, right? So for that now, let's go to the book of Isaiah chapter 35. We can pick it up at verse 3. All right, because he's quoting Isaiah. All right, and Isaiah is a prophet. Okay, and who he was sent to? The children of Israel. All right, which let you know that the gospel is only for them.
God.
You see that?
Can.
All right.
The book of Isaiah 35 and 3. Strengthen ye the weak hands, and confirm the feeble knees.
Read.
Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your power will come with vengeance, even the Most High with a recompense. He will come and save you.
Khan. All right, vengeance and recompense. All right, which is what? Payback.
Khan.
All right. That's why Revelation 13 and 10 say what? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Khan.
You see what I said?
Khan.
Okay. So he says he's coming back to pay them with vengeance and with a recompense.
Khan.
So pretty much we could shut it down right
Gone.
there because we see
Gone.
who this, and guess what? This is a part of the gospel.
Well, that's correct.
You see what I said?
God.
This is a part of the gospel. Okay. Well, let's read on. Verse 5.
Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped.
You see that? Same thing what Yahweh Shai said.
Khan.
The same exact thing.
Khan.
So we reading the gospel.
Khan.
You see that? Read on.
Then shall the lame man leap as a hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert.
Read.
And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. In the habitation of dragons, where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes.
Read on.
And a highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those the wayfaring men. Though fools shall not err therein.
All right, read on.
No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there.
Khan. All right, so this is talking about the truth, and someone is going to be saved.
Khan.
All right, and the word ransom means redeemed.
Khan.
Okay, so this is speaking about someone is going to be saved.
Khan.
All right, again, this is a part of the gospel, and as a matter of fact, all kind of context clues in here.
Khan.
All right, because Yahweh Shai quoted, and we know that Isaiah was sent to the children of Israel. So this is speaking about the truth and the children of Israel being saved, beginning with the elect
Khan.
of the nation of Israel.
Khan.
All right, read on.
And the ransom of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai shall return, and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away.
John, and this is to the children of Israel. This is the gospel.
Khan.
All right, this is the gospel. Now let's jump over to chapter 61 and verse 1. All right, this is the true gospel according to the scriptures. All right, not that shit what they be teaching up in them hallowed houses.
Khan.
All right, so let's jump to Isaiah chapter 61 because he's gonna make it pretty clear.
Khan.
All right, Isaiah 61
One.
on verse 1. You got Numbers 1 and 15.
This is the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 61 and 1. The Spirit of Yahweh Basham Yahushai is upon me, because the Most High had anointed me to preach good things unto the meek, Salah, to preach good tidings unto the meek. He had sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
Khan. All right, the Lord had anointed me to preach the gospel, which is the good tidings.
Khan.
All right, and what is the good tidings? Well, let's hear what Nahum have to say concerning the good tidings. All right, so now let's get Nahum chapter 1 and verse 15.
This is the book of Nahum chapter 1 verse 15. Behold, upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publish peace, O Judah. Keep thy solemn feasts, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off.
Khan. All right, so what did it say in Romans 10 and 15?
Khan.
Let's pick that up again.
Romans 10 and 15.
All right.
This is the book of Romans 10 and 15. And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace, and bring glad tidings of good things.
Right. Okay. Now, as it is written, meanings going back to the Old Testament. This is what Paul is saying. So let's hit that again.
This is the book of Nahum, chapter 1, verse 15. Behold, upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings. Published.
Same thing that was said in Romans, right?
God.
So we see Paul is saying the same thing. Read.
That publish peace, O Judah. Keep thy solemn feast. Perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off.
Exactly. All right, the word gospel means good tidings. Now watch this. Nahum said these good tidings, he said what these good tidings are, which is what the good news. You see what I saying? It ain't, these heathens, you know, the enemies ain't going to be passing through us no more. All right? They ain't going to put us in slavery no more. All right? They ain't going to be corrupting our people no more. All right? You know the ways how they corrupt our people through music, Hollywood and all these different shit. All right? They ain't going to be killing us no more. All right? That's the good news. All right? And it says what? That for the wicked shall no more pass through thee, he is utterly cut off. All right, and who is going to be cut off? God. Now let's get it. Obadiah 1 and 10. All right, go back to Isaiah 61 and 1, y'all. All right, as you can see, this is the gospel. This is the good news. This is the gospel of peace. This is the Zalakia. This is the Bashar. See that? All right.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
God. All right. And Nahum 1 and 15 says what? I can read the last line. For the wicked shall no more pass through thee, he is utterly cut off. So Esau is going to be cut off. All right? And he ain't going to come through us no more. This is the gospel, man. Esau, Edom have to be destroyed. This is the gospel. This is the good news. All right? So when you sum it up, you know, in the New Testament, if you read Luke chapter 1, he make it pretty clear. All right? Okay? Now let's go back to Isaiah 61 and verse 1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 61 and verse 1. The Spirit of the Most High Yahweh is upon me, because the Most High anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek, Salah. He had sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and to open the opening of the prisons to them that are bound.
God. All right. And what is the good tidings? The wicked shall no more pass through us. The wicked shall utterly be destroyed, utterly be cut off. All right. You see that this is the gospel? This is the same thing what Yahweh Shai, our Lord and Savior, was preaching.
He quoted the same thing, I think, in Matthew.
God. The same thing. This is the gospel. So to say otherwise, to say that God love all people, he sent his son to die for all nations and all that, you talking shit. You see that? All right, this is the good news, man. All right, let's read verse 1 again, Baba Gishya.
Isaiah 61 and 1. The Spirit of the Most High Yahweh is upon me, because the Most High had anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He had sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
God, so now we understand what I was talking about. Okay, so now you're getting a glimpse of what the gospel is. All right, and this is the same thing what we teaching today. It's the same thing with Yahweh Shai and the apostles were teaching what he received from the Almighty Father. All right, and we preaching it today. Okay, read on. Verse 2.
To proclaim, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Most High, on the day of vengeance of our Yahweh, to comfort all that mourn.
God. All right, and in chapter 35 it says how the Most High is coming with vengeance. All right, and that goes back to chapter 31. And chapter 31 goes back to Matthew 11 and 4.
God.
All right, where Yahweh Shai say, "Good man, go and tell John that these things which had been done." All right, that's why that's where Yahweh Shai was quoting this from.
God.
You see what I'm saying? This is the gospel of what Yahweh Shai was teaching.
God.
All right, precept must be upon precept.
God.
Okay?
God.
That plain, that simple. All right? So again, for these churches to be teaching something else, they're doing it in complete error.
God.
God.
All right, and guess what? They have to give an account for that shit.
God.
God.
All right? Let's read on Yahweh verse 3. Watch this.
To appoint unto them that are mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty of for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Most High, that he might be glorified.
God, didn't he say that he was going to give them joy in Isaiah chapter 35?
God.
All right, so we see it saying the same thing. All right, read on.
God. And they shall build the old waste. They shall rise up the former desolation, and they shall repair the waste city, the desolation of many generations.
God, so we're going to go back to Israel and build up our homeland.
God.
All right, so watch what else the gospel has in it.
God.
All right, because, hey, this is beautiful, man.
God.
All right, but let's read on. Verse 5.
And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the aliens shall be your plowmen, and your vine dressers, Salah.
God, all right, so they're going into slavery.
Correct.
All nations is going into slavery under the Israelite men.
God.
All right, and this goes back to the blessing where Isaac blessed Jacob.
God.
All right, it says your brother is going to be your servant, right?
God.
All right, meaning all nations is going to serve and obey the Israelite man, woman, and children.
God.
All right, so you got to understand the Old and New Testament. That is the gospel saying the same thing.
God.
All right, so these heathens serving us is a part of the gospel.
Correct. God.
All right, and you don't hear that. You don't hear that up in these churches.
No.
They joining hand in hand with the enemy.
God.
See what I said?
God.
All right, let's read on.
Verse 6.
Full speed of doing that.
But ye shall be named the priests of the Most High. Men shall call you the ministers of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves.
God, and this is one of my favorite scriptures, man. But ye shall be named the priests of the Most High.
God.
All right, and you see how this is lining up with the New Testament. All right, men shall call you the ministers of our God. Why?
God.
All right, because that goes back to the Old Testament. All right, and even Peter quoted, it says, and ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles.
God.
So we can be eating the best.
God.
Okay, and in their glory you shall boast yourself, because all the riches they're going to be bringing to us.
God.
All right, the big gold chain, big diamond ring, everything. See my fresh gold chain. You know what I mean? You know, Jake like show off that. Shit, the kingdom shit, we that's gonna be showing off. You see what I said?
God.
But you see how things lining up. Check this out, because this goes back to this precept. Yo, First Peter 2:9.
Book of 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who had called you out of darkness into his marvelous light.
All right, because these are being fulfilled according to the Old Testament. And it didn't say, man, he was going to take us out of darkness. Right? Isaiah chapter 61. All right? And according to Luke chapter 1, he said he was going to save us from the hand of our enemies so that we could praise and serve him without fear. All right? And this right here goes back to Exodus chapter 19. And the Most High need a nation of priests. All right? So we could teach the nations how to live and how to serve, how to live upon the face of the earth, and also how to serve the Most High. Then and only then can they serve the Most High. All right, so let's go back to Isaiah chapter 61 and 46.
6.
All right, let's read verse 6 again.
All right. This book of Isaiah 61 and 6. But ye shall be named the priests of the Most High. Men shall call you the ministers of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in their glory shall ye boast yourselves.
Khan. All right, so they're going to give us their daughters, and their sons is going to serve us.
Khan.
All right, and they're going to give us their gold and their silver and all of that. Why? Because we give it to them. Now they're going to have to give it back to us double.
Khan.
You see that? All right, and this is the gospel, man. This is the beautiful thing. So the gospel is loaded with all kind of goodies in it for the Israelite man. You see what I say? So for you heathens, no, you already had your time. All right, you already had your time. This is strictly for the children of Israel. Okay. So let's read on 47.
Isaiah 61 and 7. For your shame ye shall have doubled.
See that? For your shame you shall have doubled. So all the riches and everything they got, they're gonna give that to us double. All right. Read.
And for your confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them.
Gone. All right. So we was put to shame. All right, in this land. All right, wherever we scattered, we will put to shame. Okay, so the Most High said He's gonna give us double for that. All right, and in Isaiah 35, it says, "We's gonna have peace and joy upon our heads," speaking to the nation of Israel, and that's the gospel, and that's what Yahushua was preaching to the poor. All right, and now here today we preaching the same thing. Nothing different.
I'm telling you,
All right, so whoever want to call us crazy, then go ahead and call us crazy. But we preaching what Yahushua was preaching. Same thing. All right. Verse 8.
Isaiah 61 and 8.